Hey YouTube, it's Cutt here with
Asteknight,
and we are bringing you the making of Stupid Movie Moments Part 2. So we're just going to start off. If you didn't see Part 1, it's okay because Part 2 is better, so it doesn't even matter anyway. No, but if you haven't seen it, click right here, watch yourself the first one before you watch the second one. Don't be like, oh, you didn't talk about, because we maybe talked about it. You don't even know because you didn't see the first one. If you see a cat running around, that's Billy Bob. Don't worry. He's new. Okay, he doesn't know how this stuff works, okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and push that notification button because we will have more videos coming soon. So this idea, we knew we had to do this. Like, this was gonna be a thing. Why? Because the first one was good, but the second one is better. So we did the bacon wrap. If you didn't see that, then you also need to click here and watch it. Asteknight killed the bacon wrap. So we were like, all right, we gotta do another music video because people don't really know that we can go in. But I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Now I love me some action flicks, but this is the part that is not legit. The main guy's getting sprayed at by trained soldiers and they all miss. And I hate when people act like that could really happen. Did they all skip basic training, missing out on target practice? I'm saying. And I hate when villains spill the details.
The music. Take it away, Aztec.
before I started working with Jay, he started his channel, and one of the first videos that was released on the channel was Stupid Movie Moments. And to this day, that was still like one of my favorite videos on the channel. So we were discussing it like, oh, what should we do? You know, the bacon wrap was crazy. So we were like, what should we do next? The concept of the Stupid Movie Moments was just me ranting about things that I don't like that happen in movies often. And he already did his video on it. So he kind of pulled me into it. And so now I was so excited that night about the concept that that's when I started to produce the beat. So in our phone conversation, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if the beat was just made up of all the movie studio openers? So that's what we did. So let's break down the beat. Obviously, you can tell right when it starts off, it's the Fox movie opener, but actually the entire beat, except for the drums and the bass, the entire beat is made up of movie studio openers.
Asteknight killed that. He killed that. First of all, he took different movie intros and literally put it into one song. I mean, who thinks to even do that? Like, killed that.
So you'll hear in the beat, you'll hear Fox, you'll hear DreamWorks, you'll hear New Line Cinema, Universal Studios, Columbia, TriStar. All of those openers are actually in there. Even MGM, the Lion Roar, you'll hear it in the second verse, and then also Pixar, you'll hear it throughout the whole song too. So actually, it was a really, really fun beat to make because I hadn't heard anybody else, and since the topic was on music, I was like, well, let's be pioneers. Let's be the first people to take the movie openers and make a whole song out of it.
Now, in order to create an animated video, you need a script of some sort, right? Even if there's no words, you still need a script. But in this case, the music or the song is the script. So it's no way to animate, draw, or create anything if you don't have the words that's gonna be the video, right? So I knew he had to write his part and I had to write mine. And then once it was written, then at least I have an idea of, oh, this is what it's gonna look like later on when it's time to draw and create everything.
This song was actually very easy to write, just like the bacon one, because I love bacon. If you know me, if you're in my family, you're in my friends, you go to church with me, you know I'm very critical of movies, super critical. So it was very easy to write all these verses. And what's amazing, you'll see in the art breakdown, I never told Jay what to draw. I only wrote down the words. Through what I was writing, he knew exactly what movies I was talking about. He knew exactly what scenes I was referring to. So the first verse is mostly about action movies and about things that don't make sense. Just movie magic. Like, how did he not get shot? How were they prepared for that random act of just randomness? How do aliens know how to speak English, right? It's just the whole first verse was just about that. The whole second verse is all about horror movies, how they don't make sense in any spectrum of anything. Horror movies, also chick flicks, also what is going on with the CGI and making everything into a live action movie. All that was covered in the second verse. And so the way it was crazy how we broke it down was I would speak about the movies, but since Jay, he already did a video about the movies, and this is part 2, then he just wanted to focus on the theaters himself.
So I'm like, all right, gotta get in there. So, you know, Aztec's really the rapper for real. Like, I'm not the rapper, but I'm not a rapper. But I was like, but I gotta get in there though. So I'm not a rapper, but I had to get in there. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So his concept and idea was, all right, I'm gonna talk about the stupid movie moments, but then I'm like, well, then let me talk about the movie theater in itself. Let me talk about the theater. So he wrote about the stupid movie moments and I wrote about the movie theater itself and how stupid the movie theater is. So then when it comes to my section, right? So I'm like, don't get me wrong, I actually like going to the movie theater, okay? But there's some things, you know, like the price of all the food. And I really did used to work at AMC, but I did get fired, but I didn't get fired for the reasons that I said, but that's none of y'all business. But I did get fired. But that's okay. It's not, but I was good, okay? Okay, I'm like, all right, people aren't really going to movie theaters because, you know, the situation that's going on. So I'm like, okay, people aren't even really going, so let's make them have more reasons on why not to go there. And then anyway, everybody's watching stuff on Netflix and every place else. So it's like, all right, let's talk about how there are other places to watch things. So I knew it was like, it was kind of like an easy thing to talk about, but I was like, all right, how am I gonna get this flow? But I think I figured out, and there were some sections that I really liked, so yeah. Character development. So these characters, the good thing is, once you create a character, they just start to, like, slowly but surely, they start to come alive. Because the more you create them, the more you do scenes and shots with them, they just start to, like, become their own character. And it's even crazy to the point where, like, if I have my Cutt character, but then the voice is somehow synced to Asteknight's character, it still just feels a little odd because it's become its own personality and vice versa. We already have outfits, and even those outfits are being updated. But for this particular video, it was like, all right, we need to sell some products. You know what I mean? So we have these products, jcutt.com, and we're like, well, why not put it, you know, actually this was Astek's idea. Like,
and I was like, you're gonna put me in the Kool-Aid outfit. Earlier in the past year, he had drew the Wiz, and he also drew from House Party, the scene with the Kool-Aid. And those were really huge for us last year, but honestly, one of my favorite pictures was the Kool-Aid one. So I told him, like, put my character in the Kool-Aid outfit, which is also actually available on jcutt.com. That's what the whole intro in the very beginning of the video is about. The actual clothing that we are wearing in the video is actually clothing that we have in our shop. So go check that out as well.
I'm like, that's such a good idea. So that's where I was like, all right, let me just, that was like one of the first things I did, because the characters were ready, the outfits were ready, I just had to kind of combine them like that. Then you have the 3D modeling. So this idea came like a week ago. No, like literally, like we started working on this some time ago, and I was like, I really want to, I keep saying I want to bring some 3D this year. And I'm like, I really want these characters to have 3D backgrounds. But then I was like, I wanted 3D, but these characters are really flat. So I'm like, how can I bring the flat 3D? I don't know if that's a real term, but it's 3D, but it's flat. So like isometric is 3D and flat, but it's 3D and flat on like a 45-degree angle. But this is like front profile a little bit and then flat. It's stupid. But I knew it would work for this because they're in the same position except 2D. So I'm glad I made that decision because 3D is something I love to do, and like 3D worlds and stuff is great. So that was like kind of the first thing I tackled because I knew it's gonna take a while, not just to create it, but then even rendering, you know, it takes hours sometimes just to render one image, and they're just pictures. So that was the first thing I did. And I knew that if Astek's talking about the movies, like the actual movie, then he should be on the set. And then if I'm talking about the theater, then I should be in the theater somehow. So I already had an idea of where we could be. So I put him in the movie set, like the behind the scenes, and then I put me in the concession stand, and then I put us both in the movie theater. So I thought that was just like, great. Okay, the storyboard. There was no storyboard. Okay, no, I don't do storyboards when I do my own projects, only because it's like in here, so it's, I don't know, I just don't need to sketch it out. But I do an outline just like I do for other videos. So after I get the script or the lyrics, I'll go back and I'll make little, oh, I want this character to do that, or he's gonna have this facial expression. I'll write it out, but I won't sketch it out because I just feel like I'm gonna have to draw it all anyway, so why I need to do a storyboard and draw it again. So I don't do that for me, but for clients, I do it because they need to see what you're talking about. They don't know what you're envisioning in your mind, but I do, so it's just a little unnecessary. So that's why I didn't do a storyboard. Okay, so then the sketch stage. So this stage takes a while, as I mentioned many times before, but because the sketch is more about insert shots, so this video really has the characters that are lip synced, but then we also have some insert shots, insert moments about what we're saying. So you have the one character explaining the story, and then you have the insert images that just kind of adds. This idea I'm sure happened before Family Guy, but I got a lot of this from Family Guy. They do a lot of insert shots, and actually they're doing more now than they used to, because they're just so fun that you break away from the story a little bit. So I like that concept. So I had to sketch out all the characters or the little scenes and all the little people and whatever it is. Now, I had to decide what style am I gonna do, because I had a certain style when I first started these animations, and I'm like, it's 2021. It's time to update this a little bit. So I actually struggled a little bit deciding like how minimalistic will I go, how detailed will I go for certain scenes. And you'll see some scenes are a little bit more detailed and some scenes are a little bit more basic. And that was just deciding what style I wanna go. But that starts in the sketch stage. So then we get to the fun part. That's when we start inking and coloring. So it was like, all right, all this is sketched out, but now I have to ink it. I have to bring it to life and really color this stuff. You know, how am I gonna make this thing come forward, right? The colors kinda have a theme. Like there's a red, yellow, black going throughout the whole thing, just because I feel like red and black is like a movie color, and then yellow is like the popcorn. So you kind of feel that through the whole thing. And in some sections, I kind of break out of that a little bit. I know for sure the horror section, I wanted red, white, and black. That was it. So that whole section is just red, white, black. I just thought that would be a really cool theme. It has a different feeling from everything else. But then the other scenes pretty much stick to that first color palette. Once again, you have to prepare your layers, even when you're working by yourself. And I was this close to not preparing my layers. I was this close. Cause I was like, but you don't realize how quickly it is to prepare. Like you think it's a lot cause it's hundreds of layers. It's like shoe number 2. I don't know, popcorn. It's so easy because it's just, you're seeing it, you write it, boom, it's done. And then you move on. So it looks like a lot, but you could do it in like 10, 15 minutes and it will save you so much of a headache later on. So I prepared my layers. So now we get to the fun part, but tedious. And this style is when it's the most tedious. Like when it's just motion graphics, not so tedious. It's tedious, but not as much. But when you have it like this, where it's like multiple layers and lip syncing, it's so much animation and so many different styles. So it was a lot going on. So with animation, this video had 3 different styles of art and then 2 different styles of animation. So the 3 styles of art was, you had the puppet animation, which was the characters, that's puppet animation. Then you had the motion graphics, which was a lot of insert shots. There was no 3D animation, but there was 3D modeling. So that was the 3rd style of art, but there was only 2 styles of animation. So bringing all that together was like so many layers and just really preparing that. So the puppet animation I did first, because that was like the core, it's like the base of the whole video. So I wanted to make sure like Aztec's was all synced in movement, and then mine was all synced in movement. Then those I kind of just layered them like regular footage. And then I would take insert shots and place them as well. So it's just deciding how you want to do it. You can do the same thing multiple ways.
Very similar to wordplay in rap. Actually, you can accomplish a lot through little gems that are hidden inside the picture. So, you know, without saying too much, I love how Jay can capture everything that I'm saying, actually even with still shots. You have to look through because there's a bunch of little gems in there of things that are hidden in the details that you have to see. So watch it back 2 times, 3 times. I guarantee you'll find something that I said in the lyrics that are actually embedded in some of the still frames around the main purpose of the shot.
If you didn't get a chance to see the Stupid Movie Moments Part 2, why are you even watching this? How can you watch the making of if you didn't see? So go watch the Part 2. Go watch Part 1, then watch the Bacon Rap, then watch Part 2. So go watch those and then come back here. Oh, well, if you made it this far, you've already watched all this, but watch it again and then you'll know what we're talking about. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and push that notification button because we got some good stuff coming. This was good, don't get me wrong, but we got more stuff coming for you. So just get yourself ready, that's all. That's all you gotta do. Am I missing anything else? All right, y'all.
All right, I'm ready.
Asteknight.
Stupid movie moves. What? That's not what it's called.
Are you rapping?
Oh my gosh. We knew we had to do this. Like, this was going to be a thing. Why? Because the first one was good, but the second one is better. So we did the Bacon Rap. If you didn't see that, then you also need to click here and watch it. And I'm like, we need to. Oh my gosh. No, that is it lit?
It was.
Oh my god.
We just discussed not lighting up the small one.
Oh my. Well, you guys met Billy Bob.
I'll start a fire.
Oh my god. I know there's no. Dang, he's gonna mess up my candle game. All right, it's all right. All right. What was I?
I'm super critical when it comes to movies. If you're my family member, if you're my friend, if you go to church with me, you know that the phone is ringing and it's getting all inside. It's getting all inside the video. You know that the phone is ringing.
And your iPad's gonna go off too.
Why don't you answer it in the back room and tell her we're recording? Tell Banana I say hi.
I said hi too.
So this video.
Oh, the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
In your experience, why did you talk about it get fired?
Now I gotta all this.
The movie's about to start. Cállate.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Do I get interviewed for my one line?
thinking that.
So what I was thinking was, should I say it in Spanish or should I say it in English? So I had the whole week I was thinking about it.
You know what I'm saying? That's 3 videos for you right there. He's murdering my cat in the corner.
You kept murdering me.
Besides, do you want a sticky floor, popcorn store, kid want some more? Neither do you nor I. Go ahead and lock that door. But are you ready?
What are you doing?
Butter?
I know you're not about to leave without liking or sharing or something. I know you see that red button. You better subscribe to my channel. See you
I
soon.
used to work at AMC. Why they hire me? Young team. Only there for the TV, plus the popcorn's free.